This is the Mystery Ranch RipRuck 24. So the 24 and the 15 are very different, although they have the same name. So let's focus on the 24. To me, surprisingly, when I first saw the spec of this bag, I thought it was kind of a strange bag. But honestly, after playing with it, using it for a bit, I think this is one of the best school bag out there. School bag meaning for middle school or high school, even college, depending on how much stuff you are carrying. Why is that the case? Well, a couple of things. One is it's Mystery Ranch, right? They build really quality product, and looking around you can tell the thing is very well built. It's going to last a while, right? All the seams, everything is very well done. And as you know, for kids, young adults, they tend to be pretty tough on the backpack. So this thing, I think, will just survive the use as a school bag. It's debatable about the material. The material is 330 Robic fabric, so it is not even 500D Cordura, but you know, I think looking at it, I think it is fine. It will last, and it is pretty strong. It's just a little bit lighter, and which is a good thing. So this pack, when empty, weighs 2.3 pounds. The other reason why I like this is it has a right setup, I think, for a school use. Why? If you look at the back, it has a very strange design. To me anyway, it has two almost equal size compartments, the back and the front, and it's really not obvious by just looking at pictures of the bag. So this square, rectangular area you like, it's one compartment, and then the front, it's kind of a pocket, it bulges out, so it's not the full depth. But it's separate from the back. And this is useful because what I have this set up as a school bag is basically the back are all electronics and paper, stuff that you do not want to get messed up, and then the front is for everything else. Normally I prefer backpacks that has a much larger main compartment and a smaller admin area, but in the case of school, when you carry a lot of different things including paper, I think it is good to have two equal size setup. So let's look at what's inside. So at the back, waterproof, or at least water resistant zippers, by the way, so that goes with protecting the content. One really neat design is the back panel. It has a kind of a good back panel, but the top parts of this, if I can show you, it's actually separated, and it's designed with the crease here to fold down. And so instead of bending the back sheet, if there's a frame sheet inside, it's designed to flip down, and it makes getting into the bag easier. So the back, there's a suspended laptop compartment. I have an old school 15-inch MacBook Pro in here, and it kind of just fits, as you can see, from the corners. So anything smaller will fit very, very nicely. It's got a nice tab here. So let's take this thing out. And you can see it is actually quite deep, right? So thicker laptops will fit, and as I said, it is suspended in the bottom. There are actually holes in the bottom, so debris will actually fall through to the bottom. Then in front of it, it's a pocket that does not have its own volume, but it's great for something like an iPad. So this is actually an iPad Pro in a thick Logitech case, and it fits in there very well. The front of this panel actually are loop filled. So this is kind of a tight weave, and I couldn't get a very tight bond, but I put in an organizer from North Street, and it fits in there, and it gives me additional organization. So I have some pockets here, index cards, pens, and so forth, as well as a zipper pocket. So this whole back area is kind of like the office setup. The front of this compartment has, let's see here, typical thin pocket. They put in this cross design here, so you can actually put paper into the front and the back, and they are separated so you can get to them quickly. So again, for schools, right, my assumption is you still use paper, so it is good to have a place for paper. And then the rest of this compartment, it's reasonably deep this way. I have a 1/2 inch folder maybe in there. Right, again, for school folders, books, I think that is still needed. And then if you look at the bottom, get the light in there. It is quite deep. Just to show, this is a air slim tech pouch. So this is about 2 inches wide, right? This thing can also go in there with a little bit of pushing into the main compartment. So for me, personal use, since I don't have much paper, I would put my tag pouches in here. But for school use, I would put folders and books in here. Set this back up. Now let's look at then the front half. The front half is interesting. RipRuck, because they have this design where you can just grab the top, get this right, and then just rip it open. And notice there's actually magnets in here. So the flap will close even if you don't put the zip in. So depending on the usage here, it's basically, for me, a giant dump pocket for everything else you need. I have rolled up vest here, and then actually put the water bottle in there. So water bottle is an interesting topic. I'll come back to this. Then on the back, there's another one of these pockets where, again, it's good for iPads, but you know, as I'm trying to keep all the electronics in the back, I just have a pretty thick A5 notebook with an oversized leather case in it. And that took up some volume here, obviously. There's a zipper mesh pocket. This is the only one that's kind of weird for me. It looks really useful, but about 2-3 inches down, there's a sewn-in seam that's hard to see, which means that the pocket is separated left and right. And that's just kind of make it hard to use for me. I'm not sure why they did that or why they didn't have the seam all the way up. So I'm just putting things like tissues on one side, and I think I have a small pouch on the other side. So again, I'm not sure why they designed it this way. I really rather just one big pocket. Now going back to water bottle again, as I said, this is a great dump pocket, but I think for school kids, they can put a jacket, water bottle, random items, even lunch boxes in there. But this thing is just not big enough. So I basically have a choice of, let's say, big water bottle, some kind of lunch box that will fit, and then maybe squeeze the jacket in front. And so again, that's not a bad fit either. There are these two, again, rib pockets up at the very front of the bag. They have a little tiny bit of volume, and you can use it in two ways. Either use them as very, very small storage, so AirPods, but it can't go in there. Now, of course, then I'm worried about losing them, so it may not be something that is as valuable. Maybe other smaller items. But if you want a water bottle, this is a 20 ounce hydro flask. It will fit in here, and surprisingly, even this is a very tall bottle, it fits in there enough that I don't think it's going to fall out too much. But this pushes into the main compartment. So if you have this there, the lunchbox is not going to fit. So either use these outside pockets for small things, or if you want to use it as a water bottle pocket, then you're giving up space in the middle. Now there is a larger version of this pack, and I think if you need more storage, you could go up to the larger version. So that's why I think this makes a really, really good school pack. Just to finish the back here, so Mystery Ranch style, fixed but very well padded straps. Fits me quite well. One thing about this pack is that there's this very pronounced lower lumbar foam here, which is good, but I find that I have to wear the pack a little lower so that this will rest in the right place in my back, and I'm not a very tall person. So I think for a tall person, you might have a problem wearing this pack comfortably. But again, for schools, for somebody shorter, this is great. And it also comes with typical Mystery Ranch style chest strap as well. Adjustable continuously on this loop. So there you have it, the RipRuck 24. I really think this is a good school bag, and then you can also obviously use it for work EDC as well.